na ila lotu ya mukula lotu mushiri mushawa mashani ala waminawe na pashipa tarara iwe waminawe na pashipa tarara noma bintu binyichi wasala tusi aseo tulila adada mulale muchibote bengi baya ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine ututule wefumu bengi watusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine ututule wefumu wakulekela we mwine ichichena chafina wena chakulisha tutule wakulekela we mwine upumwakwenda na ufwila kasemo abati umopaliwe anakila kumushini umwejilinga wenkondo halume ya jango aponye mfutia aya wendo mutende wenda wayimina tukesa umana bengi baya ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine ututule wefumu bengi watusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine ututule wakulekela we mwine ichichena chafina wena chakulisha tutule wakulekela we mwine ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine ututule wefumu bengi watusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine ututule wefumu.
Madam Speaker, contrary to assertions or to insinuations that the challenge of this energy crisis is on drought and climate change. Madam Speaker, this is not about drought and climate change. This is about leadership, Madam Speaker. If you ask the President today, back in the days, the man we knew did not want to allow excuses, particularly giving drought as an excuse. Because there are countries, Madam Speaker, that does not have rains, yet they are sufficiently supplied with electricity. That is the case of Zambia today. Let's be very frank here. Zambia has got a capacity in as far as generation of power is concerned. We are standing as 3,700 megawatts, Madam Speaker. 3,700. Please protect me, Madam Speaker. Protect me, Madam Speaker.
Honorable member, you may continue, because I was attentively listening to you.
Thank you, Madam
Yes,
Speaker.
Continue.
Just for the avoidance of doubt, for those who don't understand, Zambia stands at 3,700 megawatts capacity in terms of production of power, except that investment has been in hydro, 85%. The peak hours is only about 2,400. We have in excess, Madam Speaker, of 1,000, which we have been exporting over the years. So we have therefore to agree here that we have invested handsomely in power generation projects over the years. Except over the years, Madam Speaker, we've been greeted with a challenge of drought and climate change, which required us to have a mix, to now transit to having other sources of energy. That is where, Madam Speaker, we needed leadership. Because for the argument of doubt, Madam Speaker, to produce or to construct a solar power station, it only takes you increase tariffs of electricity so that they can raise money to go and import power. In the process, they go and finance that money that is being contributed by the people of Zambia to go and pay a middleman in the name of Nkana. This recklessness, Madam Speaker, cannot be condoned in this country. This daylight robbery, Honorable Minister of Finance, cannot be, entertained in this country. What we want you to be doing, Mr. Minister, sit down with your colleagues. There are abundant resources around this country. You can harness those resources. You can finance your supplementary budget. We are not against you producing a supplementary budget.
Order.
We want you to do what is right.
Order,
we don't want daylight robbery. We don't want.
Order. Can you take your seat, Honorable Member? Honorable Members, a debate is not shouting. You are not supposed to shout. Honorable Member for Nkana, when you are debating, the Honorable Member for Nkana, please, can you stop shouting?
Madam Speaker,
and Bemba is not the official language?
This is how I am, Madam Speaker.
No, Honorable Member for Nkana, no. No, it's not allowed. You may take your seat, Honorable Member. The Honorable Member for Lunte, you can continue.
In this country right now, we need to get rid of all that so that people can be free. Remember when Fred Chiluba was president, the democracy of this country was at its highest. That people could go and protest at State House. They will be allowed to protest because a protest is a feeling that is radiated out of someone's body to show displeasure. Today, if I come out with a paper as small as this A4 size and I just put a message there, I go to Cairo Road, the next thing I'll be in the police service because I'm not allowed to protest. We are living in a draconian era. We are living in a dictatorial era, I beg your pardon, era. And therefore, these are the things that we need to change as a people collectively. And this issue of yesterday, in order for me to close this segment of the question, had nothing to do with the UPNB.
Thank you very much. And we are hosting Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Is already in the house. I'll be introducing him shortly. There are just in-house issues I was doing. I had left the scrollers from my other programs and I had to quickly, and I'm glad I played the videos where you see what we'll be discussing, where Honorable Binwell Mpundu is literally being harassed and being put in a box, like many members of parliament that have been very vocal. Let's first deal with the issues. There is an account called Muzungu Wamkomboni. The guy it's an AI-generated account. The guy used to call himself Muzungu Wamkomboni and that is Hakainde Hichilema. But I think they realized the folly of that. I don't know if it's how they created it as a project, maybe for President Hakainde Hichilema. So the Muzungu was calling himself that he was Hakainde Hichilema, but now he has changed. He has given himself another, it's running preposterous propaganda. They are currently running an old picture of claiming that Edgar Lungu has a mansion in South Africa and has owns 150 vehicles. But lucky enough, many people who are even reading that YouTube channel can say this is just utter propaganda. And for many people that have been to the funeral, they saw that the family lives in a complex, meaning there are other houses in the premises and it's a rented facility. But our people are gullible. Sometimes they believe the rubbish that's churned out. That's how dirty President Hakainde Hichilema and his media have come. It's not just enough of the propaganda that they're churning out against the family through Koswe. And, there are other channels and also there are social media influencers. They've now even opened this channel, where they're calling Muzungu Wamkomboni, but the AI-generated videos are so shallow, you can see from the lie. It's like when they tell, the bigger the lie, they think people will believe them. A few things happened in the day-to-day of Wari. Honorable Chimba Kambwili, the High Court a panel of 3 judges confirmed the sentence that was handed over by the Kasama Magistrate Court, and he has been sent to court and will begin serving beginning today. He has to serve the 5 months according to the High Court. But if you saw what Shimbakambwili said, it's not different from what others have said. Look, Douglas Yakalima is free. He insulted the people of Luapula. You have Batuke Imenda, who insulted the foremost Catholic leader in our country, Dr. Alec Banda, who's the Archbishop of the Lusaka Metropolitan Archdiocese. Called him a Lucifer, called him all sorts of names. They've never touched him. Even when there were attempts to prosecute Douglas Yakalima and Batuke Imenda, the DPP moved in to stop the prosecution. It was not enough that they couldn't act, but when a private citizen decided to prosecute these crimes, the DPP was foremost to stop the process. There are 2 youths from Chipata, from Lwangeni constituency, Catherine Impanza and Mary Lungu. They issued a TikTok video challenging President Hakainde Hichilema, said, you are the one that has taken the life of President Edgar Lungu because you used to refuse him to go for medical treatment. They said these views are criminal. And according to Section 22 of this, 22 Sabbatical 1 of the Cyber Crimes Act, the state said the 2 young girls, the 2 young girls, they were harassing President Hakainde Hichilema, these 2 young girls. Where are they? They've been sentenced. They said this was a huge harassment and humiliation of President Hakainde Hichilema. So tukashana tubilutu twa kulwangeni twalichita issue a TikTok video challenging President Hakainde Hichilema, telling him, like many of you have held, that you have taken the life of your predecessor because you refused him to access medical treatment. Those young kids from Chipata have been given first the fastest and the record speedy trial, and then they've been sentenced to 18 months and 24 months. The law says they can be charged with, I think, 80,000 kwacha or 80,000 penalties, I think, which might result something like 4,000 or 5,000 kwacha. But the magistrate, Kalusopa Destiny, of Chipata Magistrate, refused to grant. These are first offenders. Let us assume the crime is a crime, first of all. Let us assume it's a crime. These are first offenders. And the law requires that you give them the least punishment as required by the law. But this magistrate, Destiny Kalusopa, says we have to show you as an example to other youths. We have to ensure that you conduct yourself properly. So these 2 young kids are being used as an example to the youths in Zambia to watch what they say on TikTok, to watch what they say on social media. There's another matter. A respected journal in the United States has issued, this is Vedanta, this is the owner of Vedanta. Vedanta owns KCM. This man he has come to New York. They want to borrow $1.5 billion from the market. And they are staking the assets of KCM, especially Konkola Deep, which owns over $200 billion worth of confirmed deposits. So he has brought those assets here in New York, and he wants $1.5 billion from the market. So there's a US-based what we call short seller. Now, the short seller are organizations that would speculate on the assets that are on the stock market, and they act to expose. Visceral research is very, very good. It has done that with various companies that have actually even collapsed because they go behind research and expose these companies. It has said Vedanta operates its companies like a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme ni fibale ibila wantu besu. Ati nga wampela 5,000 nikakupela 20,000. Mwachita in list mwe bantu wawengi. But aba first to provide testimony, baba pela, baleta 5,000, baba pela ma 20,000. Elo imwe 100 basa mchita swindle. That's a Ponzi scheme. It's like a pyramid. So the only person that benefits is the one at the top. The people at the base, lose money. It's called the Ponzi scheme. So this Viceroy research has accused Vedanta Group of operating a financial structure that is as good as a Ponzi scheme. The allegations are so strong that Vedanta's shareholding in Delhi fell by over 5%. The backers, remember, they have backers of these other financial agents that are pushing for this $1.5 billion, have defended Vedanta. But Viceroy has never been wrong. It has made these claims, and it has exposed how the Vedanta and the owner even paid themselves $5 billion in these shareholding loans, and how they are abusing the loans that they've gotten from, they got some bonds. But the Zambian government is determined. We warned them, members of parliament like my brother Binwell Mpundu, warned them about Vedanta, that for 20 years they didn't pay taxes. For 20 years they engaged in mining practices. They didn't pay mining practices that were harmful and degenerated the assets of KCM. They also didn't allow, they didn't pay, most suppliers and utility companies like ZESCO. They owe ZESCO $800 million as at 2019. And even when you give the KCM back to Vedanta, there is no pathway that has been shown of how Vedanta will clear this $1.5 billion to companies like ZESCO, CEC, NAPSA, and the suppliers and contractors that are owed millions of dollars. I think I've done my introduction. Let me invite my dear brother, Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Honorable Binwell Mpundu, welcome to the program.
Ambassador, good evening, and thank you so much for inviting me to come and have a conversation with you this evening.
We're very grateful to host you, and we're very excited that you made time at a short notice to come and be with us.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Binwell Mpundu, you are currently Member of Parliament for Nkana. You are an independent member. You were District Commissioner for Kitwe before that. I think that laid the foundation for your election as a Member of Parliament. You defeated a very strong candidate, your brother and dear brother of mine, Alexander Chiteme, who was Minister in the previous government. But that's how quite popular you were. Just tell us briefly about yourself. Then we pick up the conversation.
So once again, Ambassador, good evening to you, and permit me to pass my regards to those that may be joining us on this conversation. My name is Binwell Mpundu, born of a Mr. Binwell Mpundu. So ordinarily I'm supposed to be, Junior Binwell Mpundu. Interestingly, I've passed the same name to my last born son, who is now a third generation Binwell Mpundu. We are calling him Mark Binwell Mpundu. So I was born in the year 1982, which makes me 43 in October this year. I have a very unique story, Ambassador, for another day, which story I have shared in some of the podcasts that I've been a part of. Like many, in our, poor communities, I'm one of those young men who struggled even to just complete my secondary education, to a point where I was made to drop out, temporarily, which saw me going onto the streets to beg not for alms or for anything else, but to beg for support back into school. Fortunately, Uncle came through and I managed to complete my secondary education. I was away in Kawambo at Kawamba Boys Secondary School. Many would not know that I struggled further to go into tertiary education. For 3 years after I finished, secondary school, I couldn't find money to go to a tertiary institution. And so I am a never give up guy. I ended up educating myself literally in the Zambia accountancy program, which was called Zika then, the NATEC program, later on advanced, with a licentiate program. When I started working and joined politics later on around 2007, thereabout, I decided let me pursue a little bit of the law program just to acquaint myself with the law, and enrolled with the University of Zambia to pursue a diploma in law, not for becoming a lawyer, but basically to acquaint myself with the law. I am married. I married a beautiful woman from Mufulira called Nandeka Chela, who has given me four wonderful angels. Our firstborn son is completing grade 12 education, grade 12 rather this year, and our last born is only 2 years, 2 girls in between. Very proud of that family. And so, like you said, I was privileged to have been groomed by the Patriotic Front, rose through the ranks and file from being a branch chairperson of a branch in Mindolo, which is one of the wards in Nkana constituents, rose through the ranks to become the provincial secretary of the PF on the Copper Belt. I applied to participate in the 2016 general election as a member of parliament for Nkana, was not adopted by PF. Subsequently, in 2017, I was appointed by late President Edgar Lungu as district commissioner for Kitwe, in which position I served for about 3 years into 2020. My contract was not renewed after the tenure, elapsed. 2021, I again applied for the second time, to the Patriotic Front to be adopted again as member of parliament for Nkana, again left for the second time, at which point I decided I needed to work solo, and that's how I participated in the last election of 2021 as an independent, candidate in the Nkana election. And this is what brings me here as member of parliament for Nkana. It will interest people that I thought that there was a gap in the politics of Zambia. Because of my personal experience, I realized that a lot of young people with a lot of potential to provide, quality leadership for this country have been denied those opportunities by most of these existing political parties. I suffered that fate myself. And so me and a few of my colleagues who equally went independent in the last election came up or conceived an idea of the movement, which is the movement for good governance, also being referred to as Ichaba Iche. Now, Ichaba Iche is more or less of a slogan, basically suggesting that this, movement we've created is for young people. Now, the idea is that we are trying to fill the gap. Young people who have never had a chance to be in the corridors of power now needs to have a platform specifically dedicated towards harnessing the potential in the young people. And so this Ichaba Iche movement, it can be called in many languages. It's being called Chabafana if you speak Nyanja, or rather if you come from the east. It is being called Kiabanike if you come from the northwest. We would like to call it Savanana if you come from the west, or Njavana if you come from the south. The idea is that you must call it in the language that you are comfortable with, but the official name is the Movement for Good Governance. So basically, I am now the leader of this particular initiative aimed at creating a platform for young people to also have what they can call their home. Now, Ambassador, you agree with me that for a very long time, we've been asking ourselves questions because we've tried different leaders. Sadly, we have not actually been trying different leaders. We've actually been trying the same, individuals at leadership, except they've just been coming wearing different jackets. As an example, if you check the cabinet of President HH today, you will find that 3/4 of those who are serving as ministers have been ministers since 1991. As an example, Sylvia Masebo was in MMD, jumped into PF, and also now in the UPND. The argument from some of us is that if one was corrupt in the MMD and they jumped into PF, chances are that they are corrupt. They'll be corrupt in PF. And if they jump into UPND, chances are that they will still be corrupt. If they were incompetent in the MMD and they jump into PF, chances are that as they progress into one party after the other, they'll carry, along them their incompetence, which is why we are trying to break away from the norm, okay? Rewrite, the history of the country in terms of leadership, or perhaps let me suggest that we want to open a new chapter in terms of leadership through this particular undertaking of the Movement for Good Governance, also being referred as Chabaich. So I think that is briefly about who Binwell Mpundu is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm glad that you've raised the issue of this organization. Is it an NGO? Is it a political party? Does it conflict with your current standing as a member of parliament for Nkana?
This is not an NGO. This is a social grouping. You can call it a political social grouping, which basically wants to bring together young people and eventually create a chance for these young people to participate in the election of 2026 and beyond. The idea is when we are together, chances are that those young people who would want to aspire into elective positions, we can groom them with whatever little experience we've picked along the way. We can provide, support financially, and our desire ultimately is that we should be able to push as many young people into leadership as possible. Now, this is a breakaway from the tradition, namely that old politicians would go to the young people every after one election to ask them to support them, promising goodies or promising heaven on earth, as the case was with the UPND, who literally went to the young people and said, vote for us. We are going to create heaven on earth. We are going to create employment opportunities for you. Today, the same UPND have now turned on the same young people to start shooting them dead. To another extent, the same young people who mobilize themselves through using social media, the UPND have turned around and made, social media sport to go to prison for the young people. So we are basically trying to change the narrative, create a paradigm shift by pushing these young people in the forefront, or creating an opportunity for them to lead. So we are not going to the young people to say support Binwell Mpundu. We are basically telling the young people, this is your time to lead, because the country now needs fresh minds who bring a fresh perspective to how the country is governed. So this is simply a social political grouping.
To front a section of the demographics, or use the section of a certain demographic as reason to get elected, sometimes has not worked. Let me give an example. For our women candidates, who are the majority, they're about 52-53% of the population, meaning they're about 4% more women than their men. But female candidates have not received any attention. In fact, the women keep on voting for men in the majority way. Similarly, young people have not done very well. The ones that have participated in the previous elections, 2016, 2021, you can talk of Harry Kalaba, Andy Ford, Banda. They've not done very well. People have still gone to vote for old people, like Ichilema is above 60, Edgar Lungu is above 60. The young people in droves voted for someone who's above 60. Where is the failure to sync your message to the age group and their interest? Why don't the young people, for example, feel represented by young people? Why do they continue to vote for old people? in Nigeria, there was the last election. You know, Obi was relatively young and the other candidates, but people went to vote for, I think, is he 80? He's the current president of Nigeria, 80. And young people voted en masse for an 80-year-old instead of voting for someone who was youthful or who could be deemed youth. But they voted for what you'd call young at heart, the very old people. Where is the disconnection?
I think that there's a difference in terms of approach. There's a huge difference between Binwell Mpundu going to the young people and telling them, support me as a fellow young person, and I'm going to create opportunities for you. And compare this with what we are doing now, where we're basically saying, young people, this is your time. Our approach is that we are asking young people to be the ones to occupy those positions, as opposed to asking those young people to vote for a fellow, young person to becoming the ultimate leader of the country. Those two are different scenarios. That is why in the past, young people have been duped, okay, in the name of promises that have never been fulfilled. Our idea now, I would rather not go to parliament, ambassador. I would rather not become president of the country, but see, or rather help as many young people, take up these positions as councillors, mayors, and MPs. So our approach is basically molding the young people into leadership, as opposed to the other approaches before and in other examples you've given where, leaders would go to the young people and ask them to support that particular leader and promise heaven on earth. The case of the UPND was, support me as Bali, and what will happen is that you'll be simply shouting Bali and you'll have a job next day. For us, it's not about Binwell Mpundu. No wonder this is a movement, okay? An idea premised on grooming young people into leadership. We want the young people to support fellow young people into positions and not, identifying only one person who we want to push into a particular position. This for us is a paradigm shift from the way, we have approached the issue of demographics in the past, where you take one individual, be it a woman, and, go to the fellow women and say, support this woman, and she's going to create opportunities for you. The scenario for us, the approach for us is that we are asking young people to push themselves, because you see, the strength of young people can only be, taken advantage of, or can only materialize if they come together. Now, they are not coming together in our case to support one individual. They are coming together to push fellow young people into various positions. And our idea is that we must, push young people into all these positions, starting from councillor all the way to the top. The notion that young people cannot lead is flawed. It's a broken record at the moment, because we've been able to see what young people have been able to do in countries that have tried young people at leadership. The cases of Senegal, the cases of Burkina Faso, these are iconic young people who are doing massive for their countries. The case of Botswana, just in the neighborhood here, though relatively older, but he's still youthful. At 54, the president of Botswana has put together a very relatively youthful, cabinet. I think that is our vision. That is where I would also want to go, because we've tried, some of these folks, old folks at leadership for too long. Like they say, insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, and you're expecting different results. You have been trying one person at leadership. I'm Sokotwane as an example. He failed you then. He's still failing you now. He's outlived his usefulness. but you still want to keep pushing him. The man is tired, Mwebantu. Why don't you pick educated young people who may bring to the table fresh approaches, innovative ways to address the economy, as opposed to always clinging on to the policy monetary rate as the only ways or the only means of addressing inflation. So that is our approach, but very different from how we have approached this issue of demographics in the past.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. No, we wish you well in those endeavors. I think the current parliament has very few young people. Imanga Munyima Jr. from Nalolo, yourself from Nkana, Honorable Jinch Senga, who's the youngest member of parliament in the current parliament, Francis Kapianga from Mpika, sadly we lost two other young men, Munia Zulu and Honorable Emmanuel Jeje Banda and Honorable Maureen Mabonga. These were literally youths that were within parliament, and you have been very vocal. Just speak to that. You've suffered many suspensions, many reprimands from the speaker, and the United Nations Human Rights Commission and other human rights reports have cited the shrinking democratic space, which is our topic today. And among the issues they cite is parliament and democratic institutions such as ECZ that literally have been hijacked by the executive, the judiciary, parliament. And you are a practitioner in our parliament. What has gone wrong? What do you think has gone wrong? Why have we allowed the speaker to hijack your rights to expression, and the rights of you as members of the opposition to manipulate the process? Because Nelly Muti, as an appointee of the president and former UPND member, clearly has shown the worst side of herself, and she has allowed parliament to be a tool of the executive. What can you say about that?
So let me start by addressing the small numbers of young people in parliament. This is due to the fact that most political parties, have looked at young people as simply tools, okay, at the hands of, the old politicians. The young people are viewed to only be, pawns at the game of politics. That is why the very few young people you've mentioned today are ones that defied the norm, who went against, the adoption, seekers, and decided to walk solo. A few, of course, were lucky, like Jean was adopted, Kapianga, Lucas, and so it's a very sad, situation. One which unfortunately cannot be filled by somebody waking up and saying, let's change the constitution now to allow more young people to go into parliament. I think that is hypocrisy, because all these leaders have had an opportunity to give opportunities to the young people at adoption. If the UPND, as an example, wanted more young people to go to parliament, they should not wait for the constitution to be amended. They could have demonstrated that during adoption, adopt as many young people, especially in their strongholds. Because when the UPND adopts a young person in Southern Province, there are 90% chances that young person is going to go through. So they should have been able to demonstrate that. To come now and suggest that we want to now give opportunities to young people, but we must amend the law, is completely, hypocritical. It's flawed. But what we are saying now to the young people is that you cannot be fooled by such attempts. You can actually take yourselves to parliament, like many of us did take ourselves to parliament, by simply working hard. Now, when you go to parliament, as an example, I want to say this so that we clear some of the misconception. Already a few young people have been taken out of parliament. Munia is out, JJ is out. I am on the line to be taken out not long from now, that I know what is happening and what is cooking in the background, because the UPND really immune to being criticized. Okay. A lot of Zambians today have, blamed me for sometimes being overreactive to some of the provocation. Now, you must understand, Ambassador, that we are dealing with a parliament that is extremely hostile, particularly towards young people like myself. You would remember what used to happen when JJ was in the house, you know, how they would bully him left, right, center, okay? They've continued to do that even to some of us who are in parliament, except we come from a school where we don't entertain bullying, okay? Now, I know that some of the reactions we put up in parliament may be labeled to be excessive. Some of the commentators around, you know, excessive reactions forget that the UPND have done worse in terms of reactions. Whereas others would tell you by Emmanuel that Babino Obala Tukana Parliament, I've never insulted, except my reaction could have been, you know, excessive or beyond board or overboard. But people like Bagari Nkombo have insulted in that parliament. People like Jack Mwimbu has actually insulted in that parliament. Okay. Now, you know, some of our friends in the UPND would ignore all that and focus on young people because they are complete enemies of young people taking or being, you know, on the table of decision making. Now, the UPND have led or have adopted a very terrible approach to governing. Remember, we have three arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, which in principle are supposed to operate independently and autonomously, meaning that one arm should not interfere in the other arm. You know, Parliament should remain at all costs, you know, a beacon of democracy. In Parliament, you should be allowed to express yourselves freely. We see this in most of the parliaments that adopted their practices from Commonwealth. If you go to South Africa, the freedom in South Africa is unmatched. If you go to Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, you can only marvel at how our friends have, you know, allowed their parliaments to be run independently and promoted democracy in that parliament. Back home in Zambia, the case is extremely sad. You have a speaker that treats young, you know, MPs like they were little children, particularly those of us who are on the left side of the speaker, or particularly the opposition. We are gagged at every minute. You know, the speaker would allow the UPND members to interrupt you every step just so that they prevent you from speaking. The speaker has unfortunately been abrogating the constitution. You remember that I started an impeachment process, you know, a year ago because I could not stomach, you know, the blatant disregard of the rules and, you know, the constitution. Of course, we didn't have the numbers to be able to impeach the speaker, but I couldn't stomach that. I couldn't allow Parliament to continue to be treated like it was one person's bedroom. So the democracy expected in Parliament is completely gone. You should watch the entire proceedings of the day when I was suspended, you know, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. I was suspended not because I was unruly or behaved inappropriately. I was suspended for 7 days for simply raising a point of order on the member of parliament for Zambezi West, who went on the floor after me to then call me ignorant and all that. When I stood up on a point of order, I was ignored. And I sat in my chair complaining to the speaker by way of raising hands, why are you ignoring me? And she said I was being, you know, unruly, I was misconducting myself, and sent me out for 7 days. It will interest you that while she was talking to me, the honorable member on my left, Honorable Katuta, you know, was trying to talk to me. The moment I looked at her, she says, "You are not even remorseful. I'm sending you out for 7 days." The next discussant or the next debater, Honorable Kafuaya, was sent out for no apparent reason, simply for responding to those who were heckling at him, suggesting that he must sit down because he is a member of the committee and was not supposed to debate the borrowing plan. So these are but the many examples that a lot of times we have presented to the public for them to see that look at how we are being treated. And sometimes you should be able to sympathize with us, because the challenge we have in our country is that we focus on, the victims, and we turn the victims into villains. Somebody is being treated or being ill-treated, you don't focus on those who are treating others in an ill manner. We focus on those who are reacting to the bad treatment. People are being bullied in Parliament. We focus on the reaction of those who are being bullied. We don't question those who are bullying others. We don't question the Speaker's decision to allow the bullies to continue having a field day. So the democracy of the Parliament of Zambia is completely gone, to a point where the Speaker has continued to entangle herself in interpreting the law, which is outside our mandate. Remember, the first few days of the Speaker's reign, she interpreted the law that saw a good number of our members of Parliament, that included Malanji, Bowman, then being sent out because the Constitutional Court had, rather the High Court had ruled that they were not properly elected. So she went, outside her mandate by interpreting the law. She's done a couple of quashed. But even up to date, the Speaker, the latest incident is where the Speaker pronounces herself, suggesting that, the Constitutional Court has got no place in Parliament, and whatever the Constitutional Court decides has no bearing on Parliament. Yet, this is the same Speaker today who would say we cannot entertain this matter because it is before the courts. So you can see that how she picks matters that suits her and interprets the law to suit her own interest and needs. So it's a waste time to be in Parliament today because of how the Speaker has handled the business. And I'm not just talking about the Speaker. I would have thought that the first Deputy Speaker was better, but of late she's started, going the same route as, our headmistress. So very sad day to be a parliamentarian today.
I like the issue raised of blaming the victim. I've always cited Laura Mitty. She's very perfect at that. When I was beaten, brutalized by the police, and they took me away, and my family and my lawyers didn't know where I was for over 24 hours. And when I finally came out, I found write-ups by Laura Mitty mocking me, even doubting what I was saying, calling me a propagandist, yet had medical records. I was still swollen, my jaw, my neck, and had bruises everywhere. She does that very perfectly. She mocked JJ Banda when he was picked and tortured, and she has a habit right now. Her latest write-up was about mocking Mama Esther Lungu. She has a habit of mocking the victims, like you say. But that has been literally the role of the UPND, from President Hakainde Hichilema to all the lower ranks and to their praise singers like Laura Mitty. I'm glad that the Law Association of Zambia have taken the Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, to court, to the Constitutional Court. They've issued a petition challenging her ruling, where she wants to continue the legislative process of Bill 7, which the court literally quashed and discontinued because it didn't meet minimum legislative process and authority, especially when it comes to constitutional amendments. There's even a proposal that the Constitutional Court proceeded, but you saw the ruling by Nelly Muti. The aspect by President Hakainde Hichilema that they want to move these constitutional amendments because they want to allow women in Parliament and young people in Parliament. I want you to speak to that. They want to expand Parliament by over 100 more so that it should seat 256 members of Parliament. as opposed to the current 165. Just speak to that, because you hinted that young people are actually shunned. They are rarely picked as members of parliament. They would rather maybe throw them to the wards as, as councillors. You, Imanga Wamunyima from Nalolo, is an independent member of parliament. Yourself, you're an independent member of parliament. Munia Zulu, Emmanuel Jeje Tembo, Banda, all these are young people, including Emmanuel Jeje Banda. Of course, we have a few like Jinj Senga, who's a member of the Patriotic Front, Emmanuel Tembo, our dear brother from Msanzala. But essentially, it's like President Hakainde Hichilema is saying, we need to amend the constitution to allow young people and women, yet they don't practice that at party level, because I think that's where the entry point it should be. If you are determined to include young people, just adopt them as MPs, because they apply. Actually, the women and young people apply across the the constituencies. Just speak to that, to those proposed amendments.
So first of all, Ambassador, I want to say that it's very heartwarming to see some stakeholders in the country beginning to stand up for what is wrong. The Law Association of Zambia has, I think, performed exceptionally well in standing up against, terrible decisions of the UPND. I think they were very loud on the cyber laws. I think they've come handy in, challenging the attempt to amend our constitution. I think most civil society organizations, latest is the civil society organization forming up a coalition, because at some point the civil society organizations were seen to more or less have gone to bed with the UP. And I think the way they've come out over the constitution amendment, attempt is extremely commendable. I want to commend, NGOCC. At some point, we thought NGOCC was compromised when they indicated they were supporting the constitutional amendment process. The U10 is extremely fantastic, and I want to commend the women for seeing, that this was a wrong call to make on their part. The church, mother bodies, general citizenry must be commended for standing up. I think that is what Zambia needs. We need a citizenry that is, alive to the, misdeeds of the UPN and starts to, question them over the decisions and indecisions. Now, part of the proposals being made by the UPND as to why they want to amend the constitution is a completely flawed and the highest form of deception. As an example, you are dealing with a country whose economy is basically in ICU, right? And one would have thought that a prudent leader now would want to harness every little resource towards the general good of the general citizenry of the country. But today, the UPND is proposing to increase all these numbers. Remember, Ambassador, today our parliament has 166 members of parliament. Okay? 166, that is 156 elected members of parliament. You add the 8 nominated plus the speaker and first deputy, it gives you 166 members of parliament. The wage bill for these 166 is huge. Right now, parliament is struggling to even pay allowances to members of parliament. I can tell we are taking weeks.
I know you don't discuss your own allowances and your own salaries and emoluments and conditions of service. Just highlight us.
Yeah, we don't.
What is a member of parliament paid? Just go through.
No,
not figures.
Your ambassador, I just want to make a blanket statement that Parliament right now is struggling to meet its daily financial needs. That you must know. That to even pay our allowances is taking days and if not months to be paid. Now you want to raise the number.
The entire government is struggling. I'm told
yes,
that's a fact.
Expenditures
have not been
that's
paid.
A fact.
Yeah, and this man, that's why he came with a huge bill looking for $1 billion from you as a supplementary budget.
Yeah.
Despite what they put as colorful, the functioning of government is really coming to a halt. I've heard about that.
Yeah. So now you can then understand why we are skeptical about supporting such a move to now increase the numbers from 166 to 258. If you do your mathematics, Your Excellency, 258 members minus 166, we are basically trying to increase by, that is almost 92 new members of parliament. 92 is huge in terms of the cost. Now, the justification is going to young people and exciting them. We want to create opportunities for you to go to parliament. First of all, the current law does not, inhibit young people from going to parliament. It is only the political will that lacks in our country to support young people to go to parliament. All right? If this leadership of the UPND were so interested in providing equal opportunities for women and the youth and the disabled, we could have seen that demonstrated, like I said, at adoption. They could have adopted women, they could have adopted young people, especially in their strongholds, because the winning would have been guaranteed. They could have at least even adopted even one disabled. We saw the Patriotic Front adopting a disabled in Chasefu. They adopted a disabled in the name of Honorable Chilangwa in Kawambwa. That, at least, even if it was just two, is something to show, that you really mean well for this marginalized grouping of Zambians. To turn today and suggest that you want to amend the constitution because you want to give chance for this marginalized group is completely deceptive. But you see, there are many reasons why we are against the constitution being, amended. Number one, the spirit of the Zambian people being the architect of any constitutional amendment process has been completely ignored by the UPND, because the UPND sat in their, conferences or bedrooms and agreed to themselves what must be, changed in our constitution. Now, that is against the spirit under which we have operated since the time of KK. Because in the history of this country, there's never been any government that has ignored the input of the people when attempting to amend the constitution. It is only this that is basically trying to jump the gun, which is why all the stakeholders are saying we cannot do that, because you have ignored the legitimacy that you would have drawn from the people of Zambia. So in all manner and intent,
correct,
the UPND
correct,
don't mean well.
In fact, the president has shown every time he has had an opportunity to make appointments, he appoints old people. Every time there is a window that opens, he doesn't appoint young people. I'll give you 3 minutes to drink your water. When we come back on the other side.
No, I'm okay.
No, I'm opening phone lines, so I'll play your video, because the speaker says you are shouting, that you are using Bemba, that you are being unruly. I want you to come and answer that. And is shouting not allowed in Parliament? We've watched the Parliament, people speaking on top of their voices, the British, Parliament, the South African Parliament. Wow, you see that, but they accuse you of shouting. We'll be opening the phone lines. The phone line is 0973078082. You can call after this.
Madam Speaker, contrary to assertions or to insinuations that the challenge of this energy crisis is on drought and climate change, Madam Speaker, this is not about drought and climate change. This is about leadership, Madam Speaker. If you ask the president today, back in the days, the man we knew did not want to allow excuses, particularly giving drought as an excuse. Because there are countries, Madam Speaker, that does not have rains. Yet they are sufficiently supplied with electricity. That is the case of Zambia today. Let's be very frank here. Zambia has got a capacity in as far as generation of power is concerned. We are standing as 3,700 megawatts, Madam Speaker. 3,700. Please protect me, Madam Speaker. Protect me, Madam Speaker.
Honorable member, you may continue, because I was attentively listening to you.
Thank you, Madam
Yes,
Speaker.
Continue.
Just for the avoidance of doubt, for those who don't understand, Zambia stands at 3,700 megawatts capacity in terms of production of power, except that investment has been in hydro, 85%. The peak hours is only about 2,400. We have in excess, Madam Speaker, of 1,000, which we have been exporting over the years. So we have therefore to agree here that we have invested handsomely in power generation projects over the years. Except over the years, Madam Speaker, we've been greeted with a challenge of drought and climate change, which required us to have a mix, to now transit to having other sources of energy. That is where, Madam Speaker, we needed leadership. Because for the argument of doubt, Madam Speaker, to produce or to construct a solar power station, it only takes you between 7 to 10 months.
Honorable, I'll cut you there. For the callers, I'm trying something totally new. So you are calling through the system. There might be a lag. Just proceed when I greet you or I ask you to introduce yourself. Just proceed. There could be a lag. We noticed last time, but we will see if it will improve. So you can call on the number that has been put there. In case you are taking long to hear me, just be patient and then speak. You'll be calling through the system. I'll not be putting my phone across because my phone is now connected to my roadcaster, what we call a roadcaster, which is a system I have. So you can call and ask Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Let's start with our first caller. So you can call. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I can hear you.
Wonderful. Proceed to introduce yourself and make contributions.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can. You are fine. You are fine.
Hello? Hello? You can
You
hear
are
me?
fine. Please proceed.
I have no name and I am calling from Europe.
Wonderful.
Okay, so my question goes to Honorable Binwell. Okay, so what I am trying to ask Honorable.
We lost the caller. I think it is working properly. So for callers, like I'm saying, there might be a lag, but just proceed and make your contribution. Introduce yourself. We can hear you very clearly. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening. You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Can hear
Please
me?
proceed.
Okay, I don't know whether you can hear me, but I will just proceed. Okay, so my question goes to...
Oh.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I will just go proceed, yes. Okay, so I'm calling, okay, I am calling, calling across of Europe, and my question goes to Binwell. Binwell, as you said that we have in a very immediate case in Zambia, my question is that are you standing as a president in 2026 based on your movement that you have created? And if you're going to stand as a president, do you think you are going to challenge Hichilema to win elections alone? Because we have a lot of political parties right now in Zambia, and if you stand alone and you are not working with other political parties, does it mean AMA votes will not be split? So this is my question that goes to Honorable Binwell. So thank you so much for what you're doing, but I'll be looking forward to hear your response. Thank you so much, and bye for now.
I hope you heard that question, Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Were you able
Yeah,
to get it? Yeah,
I did.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah.
Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. My name is Habenzu Etongabu.
Mr. Habenzu, proceed with your question.
Honorable Binwell Mpundu, good evening.
Good evening, Vatongabu.
Ambassador, I want to address two issues that you have to actually enlighten us from the beginning. This is in line with those two girls who have been arrested, robbed with daylight, with their freedom. Today in that country, in our country today, we cannot speak. This man, my brother here, who's now the president, is totally different. He has changed completely. This man was given a vote by the youth. He promised them heaven and earth, and today he's going directly and start persecuting the same youths. Before I give a question to Honorable Binwell Mpundu, I want to mention that as a Tonga person, I'm very, very disappointed with this Harainde Chilema. Today we are mourning the former president. Up to today, we have not even buried him. He's making this funeral as a mock, as a circus. I remember the words of a former freedom fighter or member of parliament, Mama Edith Nawakwi, who said that, first of all, may I so rest in peace, who said that Harainde Chilema had promised whilst he was in opposition that when he becomes a president, he would not waste people's taxpayers' money. Instead, he would kill Edgar Chagwalungu, and we saw this happening. So this is not, maybe he wants to go, even when the family has said he should not participate, he wants to go and believe that indeed he has done it too. Honorable Binwell Mpundu, you are doing a very good job. But I would want to ask you that if you look at how many youths are voting the elderly people continuously over the years, it's because they have trust in the elderly people. Looking at these elderly people who sacrificed their lives to have for the country to have independence. At this hour, I want you as a leader. I know there are charges against you, and bad one for that matter. I think it's treason or whatever. What I want to ask is that you have to preach to the youth today that they should stand and fight. But when you are fighting, lives are lost. So we can actually cope from Kenya. We can cope from Malawi that when we see when a wrong is wrong, we should rise as youths and fight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honorable Binwell Mpundu, let me take the third call. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yeah, hello. You are connected. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please speak loud and make your contributions.
My name's Amonga Evans. I'm calling you from Kafue.
Wonderful.
My name's Amonga Evans. I'm calling you from Kafue.
Proceed. We can hear you.
Hello, my name's Amonga.
We can hear you.
Hello, my name's Amonga Evans from Kafue.
Please proceed.
Yes, I'm saying my name's Amonga Evans. I'm calling you from Kafue. Yes. Honorable Binwell Mpundu, you are the definition of
Yes,
your young leadership in Zambia. You're actually, yes, I'm saying, Honorable Mpundu, keep on doing the good works. Keep on doing the good works that you're doing, Honorable Binwell Mpundu. All of us, the young ones, are actually...
Oh, we lost him. We lost him. But it was very clear. To my callers, all that are before you call, when I introduce you, I've connected you into the system. Just proceed. We can hear you very clearly. There's a lag where you think you are not being heard. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Emmanuel is here, sir. Okay, I'm hoping that you are able to get me. Thank you very much. My name's Giorgio, calling you within Lusaka. So here, sir, the issue is that, first of all, I'm greeting you, both of you, together with the Honorable. I'm greeting you. So here, the issue is, according to this is Giorgio calling you from Lusaka.
Thank you very much.
That you're able to get me.
No, we are able. We are able. Thank you. I think we got your point.
All right. So if you're able to get me, let me proceed with my comment. Mr. Honorable, I am very much grateful and I am happy seeing you that you are doing a such thing. And I can assure you that you have my support, and not only my support, but also the support to a lot of Zambians youths, because in according to what we were expecting. Thank you. So what I'm saying is that according to the expectations that we have from our current president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, it is in opposite direction to what they promise us. As I am telling you right away, Lusaka, we have no power. But when they were in opposition, what were their promises? We were expecting that here, as they are in power right away, we were expecting seeing youths, women, and the people with the, people who are disabled to be one of our leaders. But you can see that what they are doing, it is in opposite to what they were saying. So for that now, I think it is a right time that us as Zambians youths, we should push all these matters by all means, that people to elect into power, at least let us include our fellow youths, so that we can see a difference in the near future as the time goes by. Because we are tired of these lies. Somebody started lying when he was in opposition. Till today, he is still lying, and he can't even, submit to say, I have failed. All what he do is to praise himself. Where on earth, whereby people, they are complaining, you are clapping for yourself instead of people clapping for you. So, Mr. Honorable, please continue, and you have our support. We are just waiting for the confirmation that, of course, I am standing as a president. You have our support. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. The phones are buzzing, Honorable. Just give me a moment. Maybe we'll just take a few more. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from, and proceed to make your contributions.
Evening,
we can hear you.
Mwamba. Hello.
We can hear you. Proceed. Hello, you are online. We can hear you. Proceed to talk. You've muted yourself, or he has muted himself on the other side. You have muted yourself. I don't know if you can hear me. Or we just have to cut him. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
You are online. Please proceed to make your contribution. Introduce yourself and make your contribution.
So sorry. Am I audible now?
You are audible. Please, when you come on, you are audible. Just proceed to make your contributions.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Yes, please. I'm David calling you from Kaperi.
Okay.
Allow me by yes, please. Allow me by very good program that you have hosted, Honorable Mpundu. And first and foremost, yes, please, Honorable Mpundu, here's a question for you. Youth leadership is often celebrated in rhetoric. Now, can you detail specific governance decisions, policy outcomes, or perhaps institutional shifts directly influenced by young leaders within Parliament, and obviously show how these impacts can be measured? That is my first contribution or question. And then my second contribution,
Sorry, Honorable Mpundu, we are trying something new. I've had a crisis with volume. So we've connected through the system to resolve the issue of volume, but I think there is a lag a bit and our callers are not getting it. Caller, when you come on, introduce yourself and proceed to make your contribution. We can hear you very clearly. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. Good evening.
Please proceed to make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. Good evening, Honorable Binwell.
Good evening. Please make your contribution.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you are listening.
No, we can hear you. Just make your contributions.
Speak. Call me Gwenu. I think we have. Yes. How are you, sir? Hello. Good evening. How are you?
We can hear you. Please proceed and make your contribution.
Good evening, Honorable Mpundu. Good evening, Ambassador. Yes, my contribution is that. Yes, all right. My contribution is the happenings in the House, in our Parliament. I think things are not all right in Parliament. We have seen when government and its ministers, when they want to borrow, they want you to debate their motion. Yes, so they want you to to debate motions. But when you are presenting issues that are affecting the Zambian people, they are always bringing blame games. For example, the question that you asked to say, is the borrowing in Parliament, is the borrowing by the minister motivated by a commission? And we had the speaker coming to curtail your question instead of the responsible minister to answer, to say, no, there is no commission. We are borrowing for the good of the country. But instead, the speaker intervened, and that's not the parliament now, it's something else. The speaker is just a chairperson there to deliberate issues, not to be answering on behalf of people. On several occasions, she has done that, which is not right. It's not right. It's not right. By the fact is, those people, they are not sick. They are there in Parliament. When you direct a question at the Minister of Finance, he should be able to answer, not the Speaker. So these are some of the things, the bad things that we are seeing in Parliament. Then also the other thing that I've seen is the blame game by our brothers, the UPND people. For the 4 years they've been in government, every time they're just giving excuses. The question in Parliament to say, why are people being killed? Even in PF, the Minister of Home Affairs says, even in the PF, people are dying. Surely, what kind of reasoning is that?
Thank you, Kapiri Kola. Thank you very much. Let me just quickly take the hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yes.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please make your contributions.
Okay, I really wanted to have enough time with Honorable Binwell. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. This is MK6, or let me say the Gen Z voice. I'm currently in Joburg.
Yes, MK6.
All right. Binwell, I'm sure you can hear me clearly.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Very well.
We have conversed before. I'm also a fellow Kawamba boys. So we are a family. Firstly, I want to remind all of us here that KK, not only being the first president of Zambia, has beaten us on almost all the records. He is the only youngest president Zambia has ever had. And a lot of us don't actually look into this. He became the first president at 40 years. 40 years. Yes. So, I don't know where we actually went wrong as a country, where after KK, now we started going back to our old fellas. But again, this is where we need to look at it very critically, because if you look at the crop that came after KK, they were all nurtured by him. And we have missed a step because we don't have a school where we can tutor our young people to become leaders. And if you look at Rufia Banda, VJ, these were young people who were nurtured and tutored by KK. He sent them in missions abroad when they were very young, of which nowadays it's the opposite. And this is the reason why. Even at family level, Mpundu, you agree with me that we've run away from the family concept where we would sit together and just teach our youths, our young family members, on how to be responsible parents or elders. Rather, we have concentrated much on yielding and having wealth for ourselves. And this is the
MK,
reason
quickly
why
wind up, MK. The phones, all the phones are buzzing,
Yes, let me just wind up now. So, the major problem we are having here is not about youth leadership, but it's because of the mindset that most of us have put on now of just having or collecting wealth. Lastly, Ambassador, sorry. Again, it's not the constitution that has stopped us, but the ECZ needs to be looked into so that those fees that we are charged can be even cut off, so that our youth can be able to go into that, because most of them, they are just get stuck when it comes to those fees that we are asked for. I had a lot to say, but time, let me give chance to others. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good evening, my dear brother. Hello. I think it's my brother from Australia. Hello. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from. I suspect it's from Australia.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to make a very small contribution. Binwell Mpundu, Honorable Binwell Mpundu. I know I'll refer to the first caller that you had. Sometimes I'm not bashing her or doing anything. The program that you're bringing up, you said, is a social program, a political social program to help the young children or the kids get into that. And it wasn't about your political intentions of things. So that's if you are going to go into presidential and to run what you said. If correct me if I'm wrong, I was listening very intently to the program to understand you. What you were saying it is about building the young people, and it's a political social program to build the young people, which I applaud you for. And the number, Honorable Mpundu, my young brother, because abantu balekaka. Look at the people of Kakiri. Even I think a company is going in, despite his health crisis. We share my young brother, because that's we are preparing. We are preparing actually, even in our old age. This man is going to look us up. No, but I will anyway.
Alam Yaskama Coffee. Thank you very much. Alam Yaskama. Yeah. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. And do not repeat yourself. Just tell us your name and where you are calling us from. We can hear you. Hello, I'm having challenges with this SIM card I've put in the network.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please make your contributions. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
We can hear you. Just proceed. I repeat my instructions. Please, as soon as you can hear me, you are well and we can hear you very clearly. Just proceed and make your contributions. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and proceed to make your contributions.
Good evening, Binwell. Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Na chikwata kwa contribution imo kurusana. Initially nachikwata ma contribution yabili. The first one is it's about tribal attack. You know, there's one thing that tribe imubare ibumsya sana ku muntu umbi ukushita divide chalo, not getting a power. Here is a man who ishire mukuteka abantu no kita protect constitution ya chalo chesu. This man has been using this tribe to gain power and to solidarity power using this tribe. And these are the same people that are suffering without being excluded from these load shedding, high price of fuel, and so many difficulties that we are all facing today. I want to put it across to these people. These people, they know themselves very well in our country. These are the people that are not going to jail. These are the same people. These are not the people that are included in the list of the people that are going to jail so far. These people are being used by one person so that this person can gain power. Even in the registration of voter registration, they are the ones that are now becoming the second largest. I'm telling you, I'm speaking to you so that you are not used by one person. You are all Zambians, we are one Zambia, one nation. Do not fall in this man's trap. This person has been using the youth. So don't fall in what this person is trapped. Do not vote for him as we vote for 2026. Use the don't whoever, let him feel comfortable with you. He's dividing this country. Please be united to Zambia, one nation motto. And the other thing that I want to speak to the Speaker of National Assembly is one word. Madam Nelly Muti, don't be used to break the law. The Constitutional Court is the highest court on our land. And this is the court we must all respect. It is the court that we all obeyed the ruling. We all respect the ruling about Edgar Lungu's eligibility. We saw to it, no, the court has ruled. And we respected the decision. But
thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother.
Is this the court that you want us to start doubting? Is this the court that wants to leave? Is this the court that you want us to see this court is useless? Are you telling us that this court has become useless when it is ruling against you? And Honorable Binwell Mpundu, I want to commend you for selfless. When you see that young people are being chased away from Parliament, young people are being pursued away from Parliament, you have stood your ground, you are very firm, and I want to commend you to say you are a very strong man. Look where you are coming from. You are coming from a place where you were brought up perfectly without any bad treatment in some areas, though you had some challenges concerning your adoption. But where you came from, there was a leader that believed in young people. People like Nia Zulu, the Jean Senga, the Lashida, a lot of young people that were brought in by Edgar Chagwalungu without any amendment, without any constitutional amendment. Uyu muntu ule bepa ba UC, awele kuni ba UC ale ababe pena futi, seafini yangu bepa ba ichala ku University of Zambia no tuma switi. Eke this time uku bomfia ba UC. Mumu imine na tuishi watu wabu fi uyu muntu.
Thank you, my brother from Cabo. Thank you. Honorable Binwell Mpundu, just let's use opportunity. The calls are coming in, but I'll give you about 3 minutes to answer to whichever you think is compelling. Then we open the lines again.
Yeah, I would, unfortunately, I thought I would do 2 hours. I had an engagement at 22. Let me quickly respond to a few of these, Your Excellency. MK6, I want to ask that you reach out to me. We can discuss more, and I want to agree that KK at 40 became president, and he did a lot of work in the first 10 years. I think that we don't need to repeat what we did to, the late President Michael Sata, electing somebody when he's already old, because we could have benefited a lot from Sata had we given him a chance at, a better time when he was full of energy. And like you say, what we lack in Zambia is a mentorship program where the old folks would tutor young people, groom young people by giving them responsibilities like Edgar Lungu did to some of us. He gave me as a district commissioner, groomed me into public service. Today, I am standing, fighting for my country. Is it Bakafwimbi who said, are you not scared? Yes, I am scared. Ordinarily, everyone is scared for their lives. But I want to tell you something. If we are all scared or we all get scared, this country is going to get destroyed. So some of us must be ready to die for our country. Imagine if our forefathers were all scared. Zambia will still be ruled by colonial masters. I know our friends in the ruling party are cooking things on me. They've not been shying to say what they are cooking. They've actually been threatening that they're going to throw me in jail. And I know what's coming my way not long from now. You see, I am very well informed of what's coming my way, but I must tell you, I will face whatever comes my way, because if I am killed for standing up for my country, so be it. I'll die a very peaceful man. If I am taken to prison for standing up for the Zambian people, for my country, I am prepared. Look, I could have chosen an easy way like many of my friends have done. Chicken out, not talk. I could have chosen that way myself. I could have chosen going to work with the UPND to make money, but I think that I have to choose, my country and my people. And that is I'm going to pay a huge price for that. And mark my words, not long from now, you will see Binwell being persecuted. And I am ready for that. Is it Kwenuka who's talked about the people being
there. I want you to hold your thoughts. Dear viewers, as you've heard, Honorable Binwell Mpundu was an appointment at 22 hours Zambian time. So let me quickly just take a few calls to allow him to, then quickly digest, respond, and we see how we can be allowed to go and undertake that assignment at 22 hours. Mr. Mabo from Italy, please tell us your name. Of course, I've introduced you. You are a leader of the Zambian community in Italy. Please make your contributions.
At 10, I don't know. But I have a question for Honorable Mpundu. Since we are getting lost in the details with everything that has happened under the leadership of our current government, I know, Honorable, when we last spoke, you told me that it's not the time to be a political marvel. Yes. And I agree with you, considering what I went through when I came here, the cadrism I experienced. But, Honorable, do you, from your understanding, do you think that the executive that we have in this government has leaders who are leaders of men, or they are leaders who should be leading in other fields, not leading people, maybe in business, maybe in farming, maybe in other sports or music, art, or whatever? Because I think the issue we have is the issue of leadership, and there's a frequent caller here, Bachilfa from the UK, who I disagree with, that we don't have a leadership crisis in Zambia, but I think we have misdirected leaders. Leaders who shouldn't be leading people are leading people. Leaders maybe who shouldn't be in business, but should be leading people are in business, and it's like vice versa. It's confused. So I want to ask you, the experience you have, Honorable Mpundu, from working with the executive. You're part of the legislature, of course, but do you think the people who are leading Zambia are leaders of men by innate, by the choice, like they have the natural ability to lead people? Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mabo. Mr. Mabo from Italy. Let me take a few calls. Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and proceed to make your contribution.
Check your messages.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening. And good evening, Honorable Mpundu.
Good evening. Please speak louder and make your contributions.
Yeah, this is Emmanuel Mpundu calling you from Mansa. Yeah, first of all, I want to contribute towards the program. also on this program. Otherwise, we have been watching you, Honorable Mpundu, stood firm and defend the nation, especially with the poor people. And you have seen also, Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba, the way you are coming up with certain programs to inform the nation and also inform the people who have nothing to, who have no information. You are educating us and also try to give us certain information which are not privy to listen to. I want to encourage Honorable Mpundu, continue fighting for us and for the Zambian people. You two gentlemen, you are a blessing to us, the Zambian people. We have seen how we are going through the difficult situations, the hell which we have been subjected to by the current government. This government is not helping us. This government is not here to protect the Zambian people. They are here to destroy the one Zambia, one nation. Look at what is going on or what is happening. People are going through hell. People are being sent to jail. People are being arrested each and every day without even shame. You can have a speaker of the National Assembly speaking or talking here against the courts. You can have a cadre, just a mere cadre, who can just assure you to say, tomorrow, if Kamwili today can go to jail, we have sent Kamwili to jail, the next will be this person. If you are being mentioned that next week we are going to send Binwell Mpundu who go to jail, truly you will go to jail. We have seen all these things, all these statements, postings from these so-called cadres. Where are they getting such informations? Where are they getting such courage of posting just I heard about Munia Zulu. Munia Zulu, before the judgment came, there was a cadre who posted on his Facebook, says Munia Zulu will go to jail. Lumezi by-election is looming. We saw it even in Mfuwe. Mabonga will go to jail. Before a week, Mabonga was sent to jail. What a country. A shame of this country. I think we are ashamed. We have now imbalanced ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Ambassador, good evening. Binwell Mpundu. Yes, this is Arthur from Eastern Province.
Speak louder, speak louder.
I just want to thank the Honorable Member from Nkana, Mr. Binwell Mpundu, for the great job that you are doing in that parliament. In that parliament, you are not just standing for the people of Nkana, but you are standing for the people of Zambia. And you are really inspired as youth. We are following your step, that you are doing great. So continue supporting the youth. In short, continue supporting the people of Zambia. You are doing the great job. Yeah. Because what I have noticed in that parliament that the people that are talking for the people of Zambia are being hated by those that are in power. So, Honorable Binwell Mpundu, continue with your job. You're doing a great job. May God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Let me see if I can take another call. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, so I cannot hear you, but I believe according to the instruction you gave that we should just proceed and give our contribution. I'm hoping that you can hear me clearly. Yes, so my name is Venecho and I'm calling you from Kalingalinga, Mass Media Lusaka. So my contribution, first of all, is I would like to appreciate the Honorable, for coming up with this idea of Ichawa Iche, first of all. And I believe, potential for change is actually lies with the youth. So I believe so much in the goal that he has, for the nation. And I just wanted to cite an example, for instance, from the experience in as to why we are not happy, even just from the students' perspective. When we were voting, because I'm one of those, youths that voted for UPND in the elections that they won, because I had so much faith and belief in them that they are going to do a lot of things for the youths. But, the direction we are going is actually the opposite. I'll cite an example, just in institutions, we have got private institutions and public institutions. Youths are not only in public institutions, they are also in private institutions, but we see a lot of favor for public institutions, for example, issues of electricity, which is a national issue. But, when it comes to matters of education, there can be some considerations that can be taken. However, unfortunately, you find that the public institutions have power throughout, but private institutions do not have those electricity. Power can go at any time. In fact, it's not even considered to say this is a higher institution of learning, so electricity can go. You come from your boarding house or from your house, going home expecting to study, hoping that power will be there, and then it's gone. You come back home, there's no power. How do you study? So as the youth, we are watching these things and we are observing, and we are not happy about this. So definitely my contribution is we are definitely behind you, Honorable. Continue fighting for us, and we will support the idea and the agendas that you have on the table. And hopefully that you stand in 2026, definitely win or without win, we are definitely going to support you. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable, you just have to wait. You just have to wait. More people in the diaspora now calling. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
We can hear you. Introduce yourself and make your contributions.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Please proceed. We can hear you. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you are calling us from.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you are getting me.
Yes, we
Although
are.
me, I'm not getting you. Yeah, my name's Chanda. Calling you from Ndor. Nachitafa okulanda kofi amashuri abiri. Kyagwerapo ndifo okulanda kuli wa mwamba. Although tumfu abantu kulina baliranda ati nomba bonsa baletuma tapati bali against program wa mwamba nanga Mpundu. I think program ngana iwama abantu bali kondema fine fishirifu ya kukondema hiyo. This program is giving us life, and we are enjoying listening from this program, which has been introduced by Honorable Binwell Mpundu. For what we are doing or what we are waiting from you, Imoba Mpundu, Bamwamba, Negumba lino. Tuafueni sana. If we depend on you people, we are not depending on anyone, but we are depending on you. If you are divided, it's you who are going to make the Zambian people to continue suffering. Come together, work together, and also unite. Regardless of whatever difficulties we are going through, come together and unite. Make a united and a formidable opposition. Going alone in this coming election, you are just wasting your time. Any opposition leader who is thinking of going alone or in a stray to stand as on their political party, or just to get in front of their political parties to say, I am going to win this election alone, you are just wasting your own time. Those who are going to unite, the people of Zambia have already resolved. They are going to follow those who are going to unite. If you think you are popular, you are going to unseat the current government or the current president on that seat, you are just lying to yourself. You're not lying to us, but you are lying to yourself. So please, Honorable Emmanuel, I know you, and I understand you, and I know how capable you are in terms of influencing things. Whether you are not here in Zambia, you are in diaspora, but make sure, talk to these opposition political parties. Don't think of their egos. Whoever thinks about his ego should stop and should not be entertained or come near to destroy the opposition. Those who think they can do it on their own, let them go astray. But those who believe in uniting and believe in the Zambian people to save the Zambian people, let them unite and save the Zambian people. If we are ready to support the united and formidable opposition.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Your message of unity has been understood.
Which we are talking about.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Patrick Chilufya from the UK.
Patrick, I've got Honorable Binwell Mpundu here. Please make either your question or your contributions.
Yeah, Lamamba, I've been listening, though I've been working, and Comrade Binwell Mpundu, well done for the job you're doing. It's not easy. It's very risky. We've got a situation in Zambia where our national unity, our democracy is at risk. And Comrade Mpundu, it's just a suggestion and a question. And my first question is, I'm glad you started that movement of Vichavaiche and the youth are involved, you know. And I've seen some banners online stating that you're going to stand as a president next year. I just want you to clarify if that is correct. And then, has Vichavaiche evolved into a political party? And if you truly are standing, has there been any election within Vichavaiche? Because as far as I know, you're a leader, not the presidential candidate, to elect you to become the presidential candidate for Vichavaiche. That's one point. And then the other point was, if you're gonna form if Vichavaiche is gonna evolve into a political party, and obviously get involved in 2026. My advice, Mpundu, is that we are dealing with a very, very dangerous and sophisticated government. And what is happening on the ground is that Zambians want all political parties to unite. That's what Zambians want. Because if we are divided, and you know, Mpundu, you know that the plan in government is to divide the opposition. The opposition is so divided that even when the sitting government does not have the numbers to pass Bill 7, but they were confident that they had numbers. So, my Bamwamba, you need to start bringing you've just brought Binwell, you need to start bringing all the political party leaders into this platform. And people should ask them questions. And my plea is, Mpundu, we cannot, if we have to defeat, all Zambians are saying it has to be Zambians against this UPNT, or else we're gone. So it has to be the 1991 formula. If that's the plan B, then, because we cannot continue another 5 years with what is happening in Zambia.
Thank you very much, Rachel.
That's one point, Mwamba. Just another point I wanted to raise. Mpundu, you're correct. What this president is trying to do is to weaken all government institutions. Zambians, I don't know, they are not patriotic, especially our friends from the Zambezi. They just support blindly. We've got a president who wants to destroy institutions. And he controls the executive, judiciary is being captured. And the next government wing to capture is Parliament. And once that is done, Zambia will descend into tyranny. And a lot of young people of Mpundu, Tavai Kalapo mu one-party state. Because Zambia will be like that. It will be a tyrant state. I rest my case.
Thank you very much. I already have a caller in the system. Hello, caller. Please introduce yourself and tell us your name.
Mwala na mambalekeri njasuke kuna musha mwakonkanya hapo na abantu.
Okay. That is fine.
Yeah. Ambassador, very important questions from the people. I want Sampa Ulefepa no, because I've got to run. Number one, the cause for unity of the opposition is extremely crucial. There is seemingly a conversation on the ground to suggest that Tatukwete is strong opposition. Those who are saying Tatukwete is strong opposition are very new to the politics of Zambia and don't actually read history. A strong opposition does not necessarily mean or refer to grouping. Okay? Panopo to the 2025 lelo can be likened to 1990. In 1990, we only had UNIP, one political party, and UNIP was too strong compared to UPND. When we reverted back to multipartism, that is when political parties were born. And those who follows history would agree with me that Kaunda decided to go for early elections so that those who formed political parties would not be given enough time to mobilize. But because the people of Zambia had already been resolved, they wanted to kick out UNIP. It didn't matter how short the period was to mobilize themselves. All the people who were of Zambia was to now agree, Nimuisomo to Alanina, which vehicle are we going? Today, 3/4 of the Zambian people have already decided to kick out the UPN. Is to agree which vehicle they are going to use. Now, nobody should be misled to think that there will be a point where the two political parties competing. Even in 1991, there was not just MMD and UNIP. There were also other political parties, including in 2011 when we changed government and 2021 when we changed government. There were still other political parties. Now, we should not be worried about because you see what brings people together. Kuchindikana, first of all, there must be mutual respect for one another. Where political parties treat each other as partners, respect each other, you can expect that they work together. And that is what we pray for. Okay? We, as a young people of the movement, remember, our preoccupation is that time has come for the young people to also be given chance to lead. But we are not saying we have to work with others, provided there's mutual respect. Okay? For young people also to sit on the table. Okay, because akale the young people have simply been twala mieba The old people sit in the boardroom, makes the decision. That is what young people don't know. If the old people will say, as partners, what is your interest? What is our interest? What are we looking at? I can guarantee you this movement is prepared to join hands with other Zambians for the sake of liberating this country. So take this word, mutual respect for one another, very critical. The young people deserves to be given an opportunity now, but to be disregarded. Unfortunately, the young people are not ready for that. So it's important we all acknowledge opposition yeneko iri. Na abantu ba Zambia, they are ready. But it's also about the choice of people we are going to front. Abantu nabo, they are also, they are also going to be carefully studying who are we presenting to the people of Zambia. So it's important that we discuss this matter with soberness. Now, the people of Zambia seems to have made a decision against the UPND based on the UPND's failures. UPND was voted on the premise of the many promises they made to the people of Zambia. They've failed to handle or fulfill all their promises. It's not us, the opposition, who is killing the UPND. They, by their failures to fulfill their promises. The issue of electricity has been an issue for many Zambians. You now have a government that is prioritizing foreign interest than the Zambians. Every day, today, Namibia, we are getting amalite from Zambia. Botswana, we are getting amalite for Zambia. So you have a parent that, first of all, wants to feed the neighbors when the children are starving. The situation of electricity in Zambia is extremely dire. Businesses have died. Not only are we talking about small businesses, about my saloon, barber shop, my butcher, my welding, even the medium-sized organizations or business organizations are also dying because of the challenges of electricity. 4 years down cannot be an excuse for any government to fail to have addressed this problem of power. The UPND inherited a government they said was
I noticed that it's 22 hours and I have to let you go. For my callers, those that really have a burning issue, I'm going to allow you to make your contribution. Let's allow Honorable Binwell Mpundu to make his last remarks. When he leaves, I'll take your calls. I've seen a lot of phone calls that are still on. Let's hear your views, then we wrap up. But let's give Honorable Binwell Mpundu an opportunity to make his closing remarks, and we'll allow him to go, then I'll open the phone lines for you.
So as I conclude, Ambassador, and I hope that one day we can also have another opportunity, I want to stress the point that the failures of the UPND cannot be blamed on anybody else. It is their incompetence, it is their lack of experience being exposed, it is their lack of priority. They've prioritized personal interest over, the interest of the nation. But you see, the onus now lies on the people of Zambia. We designed a system for ourselves that after 5 years, we will be interrogating the performance of a particular leader we elected and make a decision, do we need to continue or do we need to change? And I ask the Zambian people as I conclude, they say what is not broken, don't fix it. If the UPND indeed have performed, there's no need for the Zambian people to start thinking of replacing the UPND. We must allow them to continue. But if you are as disappointed as I am over their failures, time has come for us to ask ourselves, where do we go next? I'm calling on my fellow political players. Time has come for us to ask ourselves very honestly. The Zambian people are looking for people to give them hope. Are we going to prioritize personal interests? Shouldn't we be putting our egos aside and agree what is needed, kubantu nichi, this is the kind of a person they need, that we must front, because we must not take people for granted by just throwing anything at them. We must go back to the people and ask what sort of a leader would they need. Now, lastly, by Manuel, we now need to start speaking to each other in the communities. We now, irrespective of whether we have agreed that we are going to rally around this political party or that political party, there's need for us to start speaking to each other around the need for change and our mindset being made, and also doing the needful. There's need for young people to get NRCs, young people to get voters cards. Those who have lost their voters cards must get those, documents ready for the next elections. My appeal to the young people is we have an initiative to bring us together, which is the movement. I think that now when we go into the next elections, we want to go, if we are going to partner with Abakalamba, we want to go as a partner, not as the usual pawns on the game of politics, which is why the young people must now come into this movement, so that as we go to the table, we have reasonable numbers, we have a reasonable voice, so that we participate in the change. For those who are scared, please stay home. But if all of us choose to be scared, this country will continue to degenerate and will end up in one-party state. I know by Emmanuel Mwamba's I wind up that the risk we are taking is enormous. Very soon you will hear of the many plans that they've been cooking on a lot of us begin to manifest. I want to promise the people of Zambia, from the little I saw my father, give up for the country, we are prepared to also go the same route in saving the country, irrespective of, the threats and the persecutions that we may go through. As for the UPND, I think that you need to start playing as human beings. Politics should not be about enmity. It should be about competition. We have done that over the years. We've changed governments 3 times now. You cannot be the exceptional case where you don't want to be challenged. Allow to be challenged and prove that you are better by performing. I think that is the only yardstick that is there. Perform, the Zambian people are going to give you a chance. But to kick out every opposition, every opponent, to shut down every opposition, jail them or kill them will not help, will not work. So once again, by Emmanuel, thank you so very much for the opportunity. We'll continue to engage our people on different platforms. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Binwell Mpundu. I'll let you go, and thank you for gracing this opportunity. As you can see from the callers, this is just part 1. So you have to give me time to come next week. We specifically we speak about Ichaba, and we speak about your, your prospects. Are you standing? Are you uniting with the opposition? I think those questions require, more time, and so to explain your thoughts and the organizational ideology behind Ichaba. So God bless you. I'll release you. For the callers, let's continue. Let me hear your voice, and please make your calls. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yes, I can hear you. Just a minute, my brother. Just a minute. Yes, make your contribution.
Yes, I was saying he talked about UPND has not done all its promises. So I'm just looking at what UPND promised. They promised free education, and they did. They promised to increase CDF, and CDF was increased from the previous 1.6 to about 28 million. They promised to employ, let's say, teachers, what they've employed. They promised to say cadreism should come to an end. And today, I'm happy I can see people, PF cadres, wearing their regalia, and no one is beating them. Unlike in the past, where if you wear a red t-shirt, you are beaten. Electricity, if we talk about electricity load shedding, sometimes we should look how many people, we have been to school, how many people are connected to the grid every day. And are we increasing? The capacity at which we are increasing the production is very low as compared to the people who are connecting. So these are the things which I want you young ones, as we want to go join this race, to look at a better way of how we are going to do this. For example, if we say we've got a lot of wind, we are going to increase wind turbines. These are the things which youth wants to hear. Not unlike you are saying, they haven't done anything. When they've done something, they are doing something. And there's no leader who will be 5 years and he goes out without doing anything. That one is a lie. So this is what I'm encouraging. We want to join new people, but can you say the truth and say, give us an alternative? I was there when MMD was coming into power. They were not insulting the way you young ones nowadays are insulting. I was there in 1990 when they were campaigning in Chiruba. It was pure giving solutions. So we want solutions, and people who vote into power, we want leaders, young ones, like the one in West Africa, what he's doing. It's what we want. But it's not fair where you just say they're not doing anything. When you are able to see, Mr. Mpundu, that you have been given 128 million, what have you done with the 28? It's what we want to see, that you've done so much. And can you praise? Can you say, okay, they've done this, but we can do better? This is what I want. This is my contribution.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Jojo calling you within Lusaka.
Yes, Jojo, make your contributions.
All right. Thank you very much. It's unfortunate that the Honorable has left. My regards to him, though he's not available, and I'm also greeting you, Mr. Mwamba, the ambassador.
Wonderful.
Yes, so I am one of youths who are suffering here in Lusaka because we don't have power. I am one of youths who was expecting a better life from our current president, and when he was in opposition, according to his promises, it is a disappointment today seeing what he's doing, that he's failing to fulfill his promises. Like the previous caller who has said that it is almost impossible someone to be in power for 5 years and hence not doing anything. It is true. Our president has done a lot. Even failing, it is something that he has fulfilled. And I can recommend that from 100% of his promises, I think I can give him 5% of fulfillment, 95% of failures, which is a good move that he took. So Zambia's people, we cannot be negotiated to vote for someone that we don't want. Enough now is enough, and we should take this issue serious, more especially as youths. We don't have to be lied by anyone else so that someone should just come and begin to, to convince us as though he's convincing his girls or maybe workers on his farm. Zambia is not a farm. Zambia is a country where different people belong. So, Mr. The ambassador, my emphasis is that please, Zambians, let us work hard. We have been hearing issues when this man, he was in opposition, to say when we come in power, there will be no any killing, there will be no any whatsoever. Me, myself, I was attacked 2 weeks ago as I was coming from the funeral of the late president from the Secretariat office. I was being attacked and I was grabbed a phone by cadres for UPND, and someone should come and say that we have no cadreism. Where? In which country? Not Zambia that we are in, not in Lusaka where I am coming from. It is last week we saw that about 3 people youths, they were killed for over their own gods. Well, people, they are stealing money. People, they are stealing government's properties right away. But someone for just looking for a better life under the minerals that God gave us has to be killed by the government. And then someone should come and recommend to say, no, he has worked, we should continue with him. And we are seeing him now want to change the constitution. We are not going to allow that. So us as Zambians, we already made the mind that next year, this government, whether they like it or not, they are packing and leaving the office so that someone with a better vision should come and lead us. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. We are enjoying the programs, and I wish to communicate with you beside this.
Yeah, let's take the last callers. Let's take the callers so that we can. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
This is Chimfwembe. I'm calling you from the United States.
Yes, Chimfwembe, make your contributions.
I would have loved to say something to the honorable member from Nkana, but since he's gone, we'll wait for him to come on the next time he'll be on. We'll want to speak something to him. But over and above, I think the young people need to stand up, like he's saying, and demand a place on the table. If they are going to come together with other parties, these other parties have to take into consideration that they are tapping into a very diverse and highly populous setting in Ichabaishe, and they have to be respected as such, because if the country is going to continue on the trajectory which it is right now, it's just going to be something else, something that is totally opposite from what the people were promised during campaign times. And so I think it's very, very important that whoever is going to tap into the young people, even the young people, as they engage with the older people, I think mutual respect is going to play a very, very, very important thing. I mean, a very, very important role. And so everybody has to be accommodative in this struggle, because it's not about anyone, it's about the well-being of the country.
Thank you, Chimfwembe.
I think the other things I'll say to the Honorable on when he's on next. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Chimfwembe. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable Mwamba.
Good evening.
I want to contribute one or two things on your broadcast, and it is fruitful and diversified broadcast. I want to congratulate you that you are doing. First thing that I want to put across is that I agree with a gentleman that came to say, no, the government has done something. Yes, the government has done something. This is the government that has taken former ministers and MPs and military, like any other government. If you remember very well in the history of Zambia, since 1964, no government has ever jailed ministers and other opposition, former government of in this kind. People are running away from their country, their own country. This is a government that is that they are going to give space in government positions, but they are doing opposite. Look at the former head of state, what he did. A lot of young people, these are Munia Zulu, JJ Banda, all that have.
I think this line is Sorry, my brother from Kabwe. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Calling you from within Mazabuka.
Wonderful. Make your contributions.
Yes, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
And good evening, Honorable Mpundu.
Good evening.
Yes, I just wanted to encourage the Honorable just to encourage him just to continue with the same spirit. He shouldn't be intimidated. We know how they are operating, as in those people that are talking, they are the target. Those people that are just in Parliament, they are just quiet. Those will never be followed. But for those, for your children, those brilliant minds, for them to find this country, it is not as the way it used to be. You have to be vibrant, you have to keep on talking, you have to defend what is right and make sure that every wrong that is done, it is brought to surface. So I just want to encourage you, Honorable, just continue the same spirit. Look at what has happened to your friend, Honorable Munia Zuru, because you and Honorable Munia Zuru, you are there, you are pointing out what was wrong, and you are the target. So continue, Honorable, with the same spirit. We want Zambia to go back to the same, regardless whether we say the PF time, there were a lot of things that were done, but you can't compare with the way things are done, especially in Parliament. They were saying, no, the Speaker Matividi was not fair. Look at the way can you say ara in Parliament? You can't say ara. I remember Mose MP, that is Mr. Jack Mwimbu. He was telling by then, I think that was an ambassador. He said ara in Parliament, but there was nothing like that. But the speaker she was just on the middle in terms of judgment. But what is happening now in our Parliament is very disheartening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, this is Mr. Proverbs Sawelo.
Yes, Mr. Sawelo.
I'm calling from. Yes, so I just want to recommend Honorable Mpundu on the highlights that he has made, and also want to make part of contribution toward how we are being governed by the UPND government. So the UPND government has been the government which has not been straight in its dealings, and that has been seen in the way that it has been handling issues to do with corruption, issues to do with economic progress, and a lot to mention. So when you look at just the report and the newspaper today, it has reported that the hike and the hike of the prices for Zamsa has been hiked up to 1,600%. Meaning if someone was supposed to get something at 100 kwacha, they are buying that thing at 1,600 kwacha. And that effect will not affect those people that are the so-called the silver masevo and so on and so forth. It is going to affect us ordinary people who are struggling with the business environment which has been disturbed by the UPND government. And it's very important for us as youths to acknowledge the fact that the UPND government has totally failed us in a lot of ways that can be mentioned. When you look at the health sector, the health sector has been affected. When you look at other sectors. Every sector, just to mention the few, has been affected. When you talk about the electricity tariffs and everything, has been hiked, and we were told that when we hike the electricity tariffs, we are going to, you citizens, you're going to have at least a lot of hours to experience the ZESCO, Malite, whatever. But what have we experienced? What we have experienced, the situation where they hike the price and we get absolutely nothing of that. So, are they not stealing from us? They are stealing from us because they told us that we ngatwarunda kwa Malite tukalami pela ama hours ayengi mudebumba. But look at a barber shop guy who is just struggling to make ends meet. Is he making what is supposed to be made? The answer is no. When you look at Abakashana Masaruns, are they doing that? They are not doing that. They are not doing business because nothing is working the UPND government. Because there is no sector that you can mention today and that sector is doing good. Okay? And the problem with the current regime is that they are protecting thieves in the name of the system. Okay? You find that just today we have discovered that Makamwidi, who has been on medicine and medical checkups, has been arrested, has been jailed. Okay? Then we find that just today, the same day today, we find that there are health personnel that have been linked to corruption deals, and they are roaming freely in this country. So, do we need to trust the UPND government with its policies towards Zambia? The answer is no. What do we need? We need to change the leadership because whatever is happening now, PF during the time of the PF, that is the same thing that we can point to him because who has killed those people? It is actually HH who has killed those people. If we look at the health sector where the corruption is so rampant, who must we blame? We must blame HH because he's the one who is heading and leading this country. So there is a need for us Zambians to start speaking out on things that are affecting us.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me take the last two callers.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and your contribution.
Yeah, this is Craig from Kamba calling you from Kaoma Central Province. Firstly, I would like to appreciate Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Honorable Mpundu, can you continue to inspire us, motivate us as youths? We've always liked and supported. We have your backs. Back to the other part, it is very surprising that our government had promised us a lot of things during their campaign time, but it has turned into a nightmare that this government is now adding more lies instead of reducing the number of lies they made to us. They are now adding more lies. Just imagine. So we hope for good things from you, Honorable Mpundu, and Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all for your brilliant calls and for your participation. I said I'm taking the last two calls. Is there another call that is coming? How did I miss this call? Honorable JJ Banda, I think, wanted to speak to his colleague. I don't know if he's on. Oh, no. We missed a call from Honorable JJ Banda. I think he wanted to speak to his colleague. Honorable JJ Banda, are you still on?
Hello?
Are you still on?
Yes, I'm on.
You've just missed your brother. He has rushed for a meeting, but you probably followed the entire discussion. Please make your contributions.
Anyway, what I can say, I just wanted to stand on him to pick up some other calls, but since the program is coming to an end, so I'm sure we'll be able to. Yeah, so we'll be just able to come up with a proper program whereby we can also discuss all those matters.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Like what has been happening in Parliament, what the rule of law, how it is, and even those the answers we are receiving from the Minister of Home Affairs to say no, even this the previous government also killed people, and that's why even us we did what. So all such matters need answers, because we have seen the people who killed. In the previous regime, when someone kills, even a police officer, if he kills a civilian, they used to be account for it. There was no excuse to say they were defending themselves. We can see the people who, the officer who was behind the shooting of Samansama and the Kaunda, that officer is behind bars up to now.
Yes.
So we really need to take the life, whether it's a police officer, whether whoever who wants to take someone's life, he needs to account for it.
Correct.
But now, whereby now it's just left on the loose to say if an officer is trying to protect himself, then he's got immunity to kill. That is dangerous, which means we are putting our country on fire. Because right now, I can assure to you to say, even to the countries where there is war, that's how it started. Because now, even those civilians now, they'll be aiming now to shoot because they know to say they'll be shot by the officers. And I don't think that's a reason we take them for training, so that they can shoot. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things which we need to discuss, because right now our country is divided and there's fire. Kwasu tukamba kuti ni muliro uli mu oven. You know the oven, it's when you're burning, when you want to when you're molding those pan bricks, and then now when they go that process of nurturing them. So you know that fire usually be inside, it's not outside. This is where now our country is sitting on. Because for the first time to have the divided country. So we really need to come together to remove this division.
Yeah.
And we really need the church right now. But I can see to say a lot of voices are quiet. Outside voices which were there before, which even used to come when we have divided, when we have got division, they are all quiet. The church are all quiet. The traditional leaders are all quiet. Why are they quiet? This is what the president must ask him those questions, to say why all the traditional leaders are quiet. Only one-sided, only from one-sided, those are the only people who are talking. And then those who are talking, they are even calling the opposition political parties to be deregistered, which it's impossible. You can't run a country without the opposition. The opposition is there to do check and balance to the sitting government, and if they have failed, those opposition, in short, the opposition is the government in waiting. If the ruling party has failed, and through checks and balance, they need to take up. But where there is democracy, you can't say you deregister, and those words are coming from traditional leaders. It's from the time I was born, it was my first time to hear such weight coming from the traditional leaders. Because the traditional leaders are the people who are supposed to unite us. The churches are the ones who are supposed to unite us. And even these other stakeholders, let's say NGOs, they are the ones who are supposed to unite us. So now, if those people are supposed to unite us, they're the ones now who are calling to say there should be only one part state. Then where are we going?
Yeah.
Yes. So we need also to ask other traditional leaders, where are they? And where is our Umuntu? Because I can see even the Umuntu which we used to experience in our country, it's no longer there. No matter what someone has done, but if you put Ubuntu, sometimes you usually say, okay, because of these problems which this person is going on, even if he erred, but let's forgive this person. Look in the issue of Honorable Kambwiri.
Yeah.
Some months ago, he was traveling going to attend the court case. He was involved himself in an accident. He lost brothers on the spot. Even him, he was hospitalized where the lips were also, the lips, where the lips also he was hospitalized. But look now, he has gone in, apart from whereby the family, this is the time when the family needs him, because those two brothers he lost, their children, they are looking up to him now. So now he has left how many families? One, his family, for his brother's family. All of them now, they were looking from him. So now where is our Umuntu? Where are the chiefs now where are the chiefs, the church, to bring us together? So, Honorable Ambassador Mwamba, this is the time now to call for the church, to call for the traditional leaders, all the stakeholders in our country to come together to see the way forward before we start experiencing things we have never seen, which it will be very difficult in our future to resolve them. And the children will come and laugh at us to say, where were they when these problems started?
Correct.
Remember what happened in Botswana. In Botswana, Honorable Ambassador Mwamba, the former president, he had removed the immunity for the former president. And that former president went into exile. He started appointing people based on tribe. He started arresting people from certain region. But look, election came last year. There was change of government. And look the way he has handled this new president now. He recalled that one who was in exile. And then even him now, who made people to go in exile, he's free now. This is what we need. Yes, because this is what we need. Because the people of Botswana, they saw it to say, no, our country is being divided. That's why there was a change of government. That's why that president just served one term. Because the way he was, the way he wanted to run government, he was running government based on tribe. All the appointments, if you go on Google in Botswana, they were from certain region. All the arrests were from certain region, not the whole country.
Yeah.
Right now, Ambassador Mwamba, the past regime, when the minister commit an offense, the minister will go in. We saw Honorable Chitotela going in. We saw Honorable Chitaru Chirufya went in. But tell me, in this government, how many have gone in?
None.
Who are serving, apart from, despite people mentioning to say, oh, that one has done this. Look at health today.
Yeah.
There is 160% corruption under health. Why are they not being arrested? All that the Zambian people are seeing. Because if ambassador, if your son at home, if you are the chief or the headman or the chief or the headman in the village, if your neighbor's son is involved into theft, if you send that neighbor's son to prison, even your son tomorrow, if he's involved into theft as a headman, you're supposed to send him.
Yes.
It shouldn't be only on one-sided, whereby your children, you as a headman, your children are safe, they have got immunity. But for the village, for everyone from the village, they don't have immunity, which means you are not going to, which means you are creating fire.
Yeah.
You are creating fire. So let everyone, because I can assure to you, if no one was going to complain, if everyone was going to, everyone, despite political side where that person is, if he's answerable to whatever they have done, the Zambian people are not going to be complaining. But I can assure to you to say, people are seeing.
Yes.
Look today what has happened in Chipata. But these other provinces, let's be factual on Ambassador Mwamba.
Yes.
Are they the only one who have insulted those from Chipata?
No.
Them they have gone in for years. But we have got a lot of people who have insulted. They haven't been. They are not answerable. Now, which means, how are you learning the things? That's why I'm saying we need the church and the traditional leaders also to speak, to come out. Because these people who are going into prison, these who are being persecuted, they are their children. But why are they quiet?
Yeah.
Because we have got other provinces. We have never seen any arrest despite whatever they have done from other provinces.
Yes.
Why? Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Jeje Banda. That was...
Even the minister, he said that in the previous government there was shooting. People died. But we have got police officers who shot Samansama and Kun Kaunda. They're in prison. Now what about the people who have shot the people in Mfumbwe? Where are they? Then they have got immunity. Then where are we going?
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Banda. Thank you. I know your brother Binwell Mpundu is listening in the cars, he's driving to his next meeting. But thank you very much, and let's see how we can bring you in the program. We want to call us, let's end the program. Let me take this as the last caller. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and you are our last caller.
Good evening, Mr. Mamba.
Good evening.
Thank you so much to have this time to speak to you. This is my first time to speak to this program.
Wonderful. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I will remain anonymous.
Wonderful. Anonymous, you are our last caller. Make contributions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mwamba. I'm very happy to speak to you. Nachifuanda kupeba paliba JJ Banda. Na mfano sana ifo balanda wa JJ Banda. Emkwai. Ba JJ Banda ifiramba twali da fema zamya nzabe ngifya itikira pa mubiri wabo. Ba JJ Banda tulefwa tulebumfa sana state isana ba JJ Banda gabale mfufu nderanda. Lekeni bale isa umulabasa itayo nsi bale landa ko utuma shibutu tonso twalanda ko because ba JJ Banda abantu bamu uturefu abayetu kumura kwifiramba efo tuwali da fema zambianzi ifya chitike pa bajire banda tutasekera ku fema zambianzi na pano no ba Emmanuel tatuwasekera mu bajire banda bare isa sana ibi pa bari podcast yenu yi bari randa ko bari kwatuma shuto kwa tafiri banda ko at least tuli umfaunu sana shachi kwatapona mano wakati natumira kuri program yi na icharenga ntumene kulifya ko bati na ofufi bajije banda barandako baona rebojeje banda barandapo icharenga ko bati ntumbe kufoni otherwise tulofwa ya tulofwa kwa mashuya bajije banda fo baranda fetika kuchalo chesu mwandini otherwise mwandini tafuni mwandini futoyekara mwandini tuyera fata buli abantu bako bati balipita mu mando mushiku balika ba mwenso filia cyo chesu kwena Tafo tuika mwandini mwamba yesu mwandini na programu yesu mwandini tukwetewa na imo mwandini yawe au mwandini na tukwata mwandini ya mashoka tuyandi fintu fingi saifa wate bantu bale umfua
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. That was our last caller. That was our last call. I was about to close. Like last time, Honorable Emmanuel JJ Banda called, and the area call went viral. Because many people, when you say you are having your last caller, they even switch off or switch channels, and they missed that. But I had to replay that. Even now, Honorable JJ Banda has spoken and has spoken very well. Today, we were privileged to have Honorable Binwell Mpundu, Nkana, Member of Parliament, independent, is one of those young MPs, Imanga Wamunyima Jr. from Nalolo, Jean Chisenga, who's the youngest MP in that Parliament, from Mambilima Francis Kapianga. We lost Munia Zulu and Emmanuel J. Banda, but he came. Honorable Binwell Mpundu came to give insights into what he's doing and into Ichaba Iche program. We probably will bring him again because the calls were so many. Look out, we are in the next few weeks going to feature as many potential leaders for our country as possible. I think we are having Honorable Harry Kalaba on Wednesday. I'll confirm with you tomorrow. We have another guest tomorrow, and we have another guest on Thursday. We'll line up all these leaders so that you can have an opportunity to hear from them. So we had the unfortunate issue of of the jailing of Honorable Chimbaka Mwili. The unfair part about Honorable Chimbaka Mwili is not the only one that issued so-called tribal remarks in 2021. There was Wumba Malambo, who's Kafiwe council chairperson or mayor, as you call them, but she's council chairperson for Mfuwe. Then there have been recent tribal remarks against, a people such as Douglas Shakalima, who called the people of Luapula names, and people like Batuke Imenda, who issued very strong hate speech against the Archbishop of Lusaka. They've never been prosecuted. Then you have these young people from Southern Province, Northwestern Province, that were calling the former president names and names. And they've not been prosecuted. The issue is that is Chimbakambwili guilty? No, it's not about Chimbakambwili being guilty. It's about the selective nature in which government has been applying the law selectively, and therefore it defeats the purpose whether such an imprisonment is just or not, because you are applying it selectively. And today, Chimbakambwili has been jailed to start serving a 5 months prison sentence. He's unwell, he remains unwell from the accident, and he has never recovered. We have two young ladies that criticized President Hakainde Hichilema. They accused him of taking the life of the late president because he didn't allow the late president to go to seek medical treatment on time. These two kids, Catherine Impanza and Mary Lungu, have been given 18 months and 24 months because they issued a TikTok video in which they accused the president of taking the life of his predecessor because he didn't allow his predecessor to go for treatment. And the actual act is the Cyber Crimes Act Section 22, where the state alleged that these two young girls harassed President Hakainde Hichilema and humiliated him by these comments, and therefore these comments were found to be hate speech, and the two young youths have been jailed to 18 months and 24 months. The two youths are from Luangen in Chipata in Eastern Province. The case of Vedanta's financials have been found to be similar to that of a Ponzi scheme. There's an international organization that has written and issued that strong statement, and it has analyzed the books of Vedanta. But it's just like a financial scheme, and you and I have to worry because Vedanta is bringing to New York documents and assets of KCM to come and get a loan of $1.5 billion. Vedanta paid themselves over $5 billion in dividend payments, payouts, probably unjustified so, last year in 2024. And this company is very reputable in calling out companies that are a bit fraudulent and are listed on the stock exchange. Remember, Vedanta was listed in London, but it was delisted by the owner, but it's listed in India. That was one of the issues we discussed. I think the other matters, Honorable Binwell Mpundu, my duty is just to thank you and thank you for gracing this event. Look forward, we might have Honorable Harry Calabar. We've lined up a few leaders that I think you should have a fair share of insights. These are your potential leaders for our country, and I want them to come on this forum and they give us their visions, insights, and how they wish to work with their other colleagues. God bless you. God bless our country, and shalom, shalom.
Amitapendwa ya vintu ifisume vyonza kula kwibukisha Kana depotimo wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Abazunga batita katongi na kula kwibukisha kateka Kaibuku muna kapona neseko siove pamenso Emwa maume baya Iyaba maume Iyaba maume
Twakulira, lelo twakulira Shika kukonke milimo shove
Ale filamba, yena minta pengo sile Eti kume moku la dolola vale lilo wingi
Iseko wingi mwakwete Isaso wingi mwakwete Mwaya
Mama,